hello and welcome to The Spirit Safe. My name's Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Austrian whiskey, what's it like? As you know, I enjoy reviewing whiskies from lots of different countries. I reviewed one from Pakistan recently, would you believe? This one is from Austria, not a country where alcohol is overwhelmingly illegal, but interesting, I hope, nonetheless. This particular bottle is from the Reisetbauer distillery, and it's in 1998. It's 7 years old, and it's bottled at 56% ABV. Written entirely in German. It says, I can read German, this whiskey was, it says stored gelagert, it obviously must be aged for 7 years in Chardonnay and TBA casks. Now, what is TBA? I actually have to look this up. TBA is an Austrian and German dessert wine where the grapes are left on the vine for so long that they get infected by a kind of fungus and they shrivel up and look very, very unappetizing. And this when they make a dessert wine with this, it gives it a sweetness and a fungus type quality to it, a fungal type quality to it. So it's a very rare wine. It's expensive to produce because often if you leave it out, it just goes bad and it doesn't get infected by the particular kind of fungus that it needs to get infected by to make the TBA. Trockenbeere Anläuse, I think, is what TBA stands for. So that was very interesting, not something I'd ever encountered before as a wine or as a cask finish, and it's probably one of the only ones in the world that's using this TBA cask. I paid just £35 GVP for this at auction in 2020, and or was it 2022? Yeah, no, I think it was 2020. And then I brought it into Canada maybe last year. So it'd be interesting if anyone else has tried this. Interesting to know. 56% ABV, which is high. It's got a very odd nose. It's got a lot of fruit forwardness to it. It is strange. There's tropical fruit, Wrigley's juicy fruit gum, but it's also got that fungal aspect to it. It's got Japanese black mushroom, the edible type fungus that you get in Japan, and mustiness. And it also has the sort of the rind of cold brie. So not a really not a brie that's been out of the fridge and is ready to eat, and the centre of the brie, but just the rind that's kind of powdery and furry. It's got that sort of penicillin note about it, but it also has, the Chardonnay is bringing a light fruit to it as well. Gooseberries. There is quite a bit of grape must. When I opened it originally, it was almost all grape must. That's settled down quite a bit. Some milk stout, something kind of oaty and with that yeastiness to it. Bit of nail varnish, bit of carbolic soap, red apples, rhubarb, sage and menthol. So very, very full, very busy nose going on there. Palate is also very full, very busy. And raisins and currants, a heck of a lot of pepper, blackcurrant, bitterness, licorice, aniseed, mineral wine, tonic wine, grape must by the barrelful, good amount of brown sugar, bit of molasses, cherries, very ripe red cherries, and something floral as well. Right, let's give it a bit of water. It will take quite a bit. 1.5, I think, almost 2. Because high ABV, big cask presence, and I'm wanting to cut through some of the heavier elements of this. That has brought out more mango. There's a nice minerality to it, slightly organic, slightly leathery, kind of soft leather. Starting to pick up some cookie dough or cake batter, herbal tea, probably jasmine or nettle. Still some apples and rhubarbs, vine leaves, bit of cocoa, fennel, Wrigley's juicy fruit, black licorice. What's that syrup that they use in cocktails? Grenadine syrup. And again, a bit of sweet basil or sage. Palate with some water, got an interesting mouthfeel, still fairly fiery. There's rhubarb, red currants, pepper, toffee and vanilla. More vanilla now having added the water. Grape must, a fresh stem, ginger, a little bit of ground spices as well. And the finish, raisins, currants, basil, rosemary, salt, demerara sugar, Parma violet candies, which are kind of candy that they sold in the UK. They're purple, and it was just, they just taste of flowers, basically, an acquired taste. Lavender, you know, there is a little bit of offishness from the oak, maybe, a strange woody bitterness, but all around, really not bad for something that is more probably a curiosity than anything else. It's unusual that it's Austrian whiskey and there isn't a lot of that around, and it's interesting that they're using this very unique cask finish. The cask really does overwhelm this. It is very much a cask-led experience, and it does show off this TBA wine more than it shows off the whiskey in many respects. Bit of an odd duck, bit of a curiosity, but I've had whiskies that are, you know, very strange, very unique, and they end up undrinkable. This is very much drinkable. It actually quite a fun whiskey to have, and for the £35 I paid, not very much to be able to experience something as unique as this. So yeah, well worth trying if you can get your hands on it for a reasonable price, and I would be very glad to hear any comments from anybody who's tried a bottle themselves. There can't be that many of us around. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed the review, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers, goodbye.